Professor Zyxthala adjusted her crystalline viewing apparatus as the holographic display materialized in the center of the Galactic Pedagogical Institute's xenobiology classroom. 23 students from across the Confederation's member species leaned forward with anticipation, their various sensory organs focused intently on the three-dimensional projection. Today, class, we examine the educational practices of Sol 3's dominant species, she announced, her voice translated into 17 different communication modalities simultaneously. The humans have recently been admitted to our Confederation, and understanding their developmental protocols is crucial for integration. The hologram flickered to life, displaying what appeared to be a large, enclosed area filled with various mechanical structures. Small bipedal figures, human children, moved about with alarming velocity and apparent disregard for personal safety. Student Korthak, whose homeworld possessed gravity only 1/3 that of Earth, chittered nervously. Professor, are we certain this isn't footage from a military training facility? Zyxthala consulted her datapad, triple-checking the transmission coordinates. The documentation clearly states this is recess time at what humans term an elementary school. Observe. The class watched in horrified fascination as a group of human juveniles engaged in what they called dodgeball. The creatures hurled spherical projectiles at each other with remarkable accuracy and force, their faces displaying what the translation matrix identified as joy and competitive excitement. When struck, they didn't collapse or require medical attention. They simply moved to a designated area and continued observing the combat. Fascinating, whispered Dr. Velnara, the Altarian exchange professor. Note how they've weaponized basic geometric shapes. Their aim suggests extensive neuromuscular conditioning. Another section of the playground revealed even more disturbing activities. Children suspended themselves from metal bars, swinging with momentum that would shatter the bones of most Confederation species. Others climbed structures that reached dangerous heights, while some engaged in ritualized pursuit scenarios they called tag. The most shocking revelation came when the students observed a game labeled Red Rover. 2 lines of human children locked arms, creating what was unmistakably a defensive formation. A single child would then charge at full speed, attempting to break through the biological barrier with pure kinetic force. By the 7 moons of Proxima, gasped student Philora, whose gelatinous form quivered with distress. They're teaching them formation breaking and tactical assault. Professor Zyxthala paused the recording as a human child successfully breached the defensive line. Note the physiological responses, class. Elevated heart rates, increased respiratory function, and what appears to be biochemical reward system activation. These juveniles are experiencing positive reinforcement from these high-stress combat scenarios. The alien educators spent the next several minutes documenting the various games with growing unease. Jump rope appeared to be coordination and timing drills. Hopscotch resembled obstacle navigation training. Even the seemingly innocent act of swinging was revealed to be vestibular system conditioning that would aid in aerial combat or zero-gravity maneuvering. Professor, ventured student Kethmori, whose species communicated primarily through bioluminescent patterns, should we be concerned about humanity's admission to the Confederation? Their educational system appears designed to produce highly efficient combatants. Zyxthala considered this carefully. Humans had passed all diplomatic protocols and demonstrated remarkable capacity for cooperation and peaceful coexistence. Yet the evidence before them suggested their entire developmental process was militaristic in nature. Perhaps, she mused, this explains their remarkable adaptability and problem-solving capabilities. What we perceive as combat training, they experience as play. It may be that their success as a species stems from this integration of survival skills with positive emotional associations. The recording continued, showing children laughing and supporting each other, helping those who fell, and displaying complex social cooperation even within competitive frameworks. It became clear that while the physical activities were indeed building combat-relevant skills, they were simultaneously fostering teamwork, resilience, and emotional regulation. As the class period ended, the alien educators found themselves with more questions than answers. Perhaps the humans' seemingly paradoxical nature, their capacity for both fierce competition and deep compassion, was precisely what made them such valuable additions to the galactic community. After all, on a death world like Earth, even play must prepare one for survival.